This is week 6, and I first want to wish you and your loved ones a very happy holiday, happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that you do find some time to relax this week, even though we still technically have class and deadlines are still deadlines. But certainly you can shift them around and post on Wednesday rather than Thursday. So, week 6, this week, the readings are focused on effectively managing and leading. Um, and I think this week is some of my students' favorite week, partially because you'll be taking some assessments to assess your own leadership style and reflecting on that in the discussion. And then also because your final proposal is due and it's done, and that's a really, really big accomplishment. So congratulations on wrapping that up. And I hope that you're proud of it. I have really liked and appreciated seeing the way that they've been developing over the past 3 weeks, and I can't wait to read your final proposals. So, in regards to management for week 6 and the various chapters that you'll be reading, I think that you will be able to resonate with a lot of this material. It is about managing employees, supervising staff, managing your time, making meetings more productive. I mean, who can't say that they've been in a meeting that hasn't been the most productive? And this really gives you an opportunity to reflect on what does it mean to be a really effective manager, and how can you maybe employ and be the change in setting direction and helping increase effectiveness. Part of effective management is also being able to improve how you communicate across the organization, how you handle conflict, team building activities, the way that you can build support across an organization, build a coalition of support, and then working with the board and people who have power. We talked a little bit about that last week, people who have power across the organization. All of the readings are in the Brody book on effectively managing and leading human service organizations, but then there are several videos you can watch. There's one on coping with bureaucracy. I relate to that as someone who's been in local government for the past 15 years and can say that making change can sometimes be slow, but there's also certainly opportunities where you need to be ready to just jump. And I think COVID is an example of that when we ended up recognizing the gravity of the pandemic, and there were these relief bills that were being passed by Congress, immediately millions and millions of dollars became available. And my team and I have helped develop and design an evaluation for the city's rental assistance program and worker relief programs. And it just really requires you to have, it's such a benefit to have the knowledge of what makes a successful program, all the elements that contribute to that. So there's that. There's a few videos there, so please take a look at them. And then you have one discussion post this week, and it is a reflection on leadership and supervision and communication. So you will be taking a leadership legacy assessment to identify your distinct leadership style. There's the MMDI personality test, and then a reading on From Manager to Breakthrough Leader. So I hope that you find those really valuable. Part 1 of the discussion is to take those inventories, to finish them, and then summarize your results. And I'm curious to hear from you if the results that you got from those tests are consistent with how you see yourself. And then the second part of the discussion is, considering your supervisor at your current or a recent work site. What different roles have you seen a supervisor play? To what degree has your supervisor successfully played each of those roles? And then I would like you to assess the degree to which your supervisor practiced those good elements of supervision. Um, what was done well, what are areas of need of improvement. And then lastly, there's a third part, which is reflecting on an experience that you have had or someone that you know well has had around miscommunication and handling conflict. So it could be dealing with a problematic coworker, not handling stress well, feeling frustrated by a level of pay, lack of raises. It could really be any kind of conflict. So giving a brief description of the scenario, how the situation was handled, whether it was successfully handled, unsuccessful, somewhere in between. If the situation was handled successfully, how? What are those elements that you're seeing where communication was handled properly, conflict was handled in a way that you would want to, share about as a positive example. And then if it was handled unsuccessfully or somewhere in between, what made it be unsuccessful. So really looking forward to seeing your discussion posts for week 6 and those reflections, and especially about your own leadership style. And then for response prompts, we do not have dyads or triads this week or next week, so you can choose to respond to at least one of your peers' initial posts. And, based on reading what they've experienced, have you faced a similar workforce circumstance, and in what way? And then, provide the details of your situation. How do you think the situation could have been handled better? How could the response be improved? Giving some feedback to your peer. All right. Well, congratulations again. Enjoy the holiday. Please reach out to me if you need any support, and I look forward to seeing your final proposals.